Hey everybody, it's Heather Nichols. I want to talk to you about parenting. This has been one of the most challenging areas of my life, one of the most joyful areas of my life, one of the areas of my life where I've created the most dynamic change. And it's also one of the areas of my life where once I created a lot of change, it created change in every other area of my life. I came upon the tools of access consciousness when I had two fairly young boys. Maybe they were like 2 and 4, or 3 and 5, something like that. And I found access consciousness. And I was pretty miserable as a mom. I was a single mom. I wasn't having a very good time with the whole motherhood thing. And I realized, because one of the primary conversations in access consciousness is actually about judgment. And I realized that I was living from the most dynamic judgment as a parent. I was really judging myself and trying to fit into this standard of what needed to be, what I had to be, what I couldn't be, what I could do, what I couldn't do, what I could choose, what I couldn't choose. And all of it was because I was terrified that I was going to mess up my kids. How many of you have that going on? Oh my God, I can't mess up my kids. Like, we can mess up any area of our lives, but when you mess up your kids, oh my God, And so there's so many points of view about parenting. There's so many judgments about good mom, good dad, bad dad. But the thing is that it's all just an interesting point of view, and everybody has a different point of view. So we're walking around as parents, trying to get it right, trying to not get it wrong. But the thing that is missing in that conversation is our awareness and our acknowledgement that our kids are actually infinite beings. I started to look at my kids as infinite beings. And I was like, okay, they may be, 4 and 6, let's say, but they've been around the block a million times. They've had a lot of different, embodiments. Like, they've been on the planet a bunch of times before. They're not actually 4 and 6. They are infinite beings. They know things about themselves that I don't know. And I started asking my children for their awareness. And I started getting out of judgment of me. And I stopped trying to figure out how to be a good mom. And I stopped trying to figure out how to not mess my kids up. And I started getting into the curiosity of, hey, if these boys are the experts on them, then what? What would they choose? How can I interact with them? What would I choose as a parent? Would I be willing to allow my kids to be the experts on themselves? And when you do, you actually empower your children to know. You empower them to have awareness that very few people on the planet have, or are willing to have. We all have so much awareness, but nobody tells us that. And you begin to empower them to know what's true for them, to know what their choices are going to create, to know, how to move in the world, where to move in the world, what's going to work for them. You make them the experts on them, and you take yourself off the hook for having to be the one who has to figure it out. You can't be the expert on anybody else, including your own children. You can only be the expert on you and what it is that you know and what's true for you. And as long as you're in judgment of trying to get it right and not get it wrong, you eliminate the awareness that you have of what's actually going to work for you as a parent. And you eliminate the invitation that you could be to your kids of what might actually work for them. It's a very different way of parenting. It's a very courageous way of parenting. It's something that people want to really control sometimes. Like, parents really want to be in control, but you can't control your kids, ever. It's a losing battle trying to control your kids. So what if you could teach them to be aware instead? And what if you could honor and acknowledge their awareness, and honor and acknowledge your awareness, and come together as a very different kind of family that is about knowing what you know, knowing that you know, and honoring each other for that. It makes a huge difference. And I can tell you, everything about my family changed, everything about my business changed, everything about my whole life changed when I let go of the intensity of judgment that I was doing of myself as a mom. So if you like this video, hit like, subscribe to my channel, and pop over to heathernichols.com and see what we got coming up. There's always lots of fun stuff. And whatever you do, please get out of judgment of you as a mom or a dad. Please, because it'll make your life easier, it'll make your kids' lives easier, and it'll make the world a better place. Thank you.